Okay.
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. How is everyone? Good morning. Look at everybody that showed up. Hi, everyone. Our High View crew, or whatever we're going with, our vibe team. I'm Elizabeth, True to It Connections, and I can't wait for you guys to say hi to everyone. I just want to remind you that Thursday, Lionsgate, August 888, we will be rolling out content all day for you guys. Really great stuff. Be sure to check the community tab. And yeah, I think that's all I've got. I want you to know Angie's going to kick off with her weekly morning let's get going motivation reading for you guys, and the rest of us are here to help. I may do numerology for you, but based on your question, I may do a charm casting. Just letting you know that I'm feeling a little creative this morning. And don't laugh at the way I look. I am in the middle of like Noah's Ark rainstorm kind of situation here in Florida. All right. So I'm going to turn it over to Jen to say hi, and Dawn and Sari, and then Angie's taking over. Go, ladies. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, guys. It's Jen with the Awakened Jen Tarot.
Good morning. It's Dawn with Astrology and Tarot Alchemy.
Hi, it's Sari. Welcome. We're so glad you're here.
Hi guys, it's Angie from Learn Love Tarot. So I love when I get to come on in the morning live with my girl crew, of course. And then I also think it's so cool that they allow me to share with y'all the channel messages that I get in the morning. So before they're even posted to my community page, you get to be first. So I think that's so cool that we get to share that together. So, because today's date, August 5th, 2024, which is an 858 angel number, those added up together are a 21. 2 plus 1 is 3. So, this is a life path 3 energy of the day. So, that trine energy I was seeing a lot of yesterday. And then, of course, that is the energy of the Empress. Now, what makes this a unique 3-day? Is that it adds up to 21, because any other dates, for example, if you add up the days of your own personal birth date and you're reducing to a 3, but they don't add up to 21, that is the path of surrender. But with it adding up to 21, we get the world energy. So successful completions of cycles. And then, of course, the 2 plus 1 is a 3. So this is a unique path of connection. Okay. And then because it's the 858, 8 and 5 is 13. And then again, you get the 5 and 8 with that book ending, 2 13s. So, of course, that's death and transformation. And immediately I got cha-cha-cha changes from David Bowie. So, and then I wrote turn and face the pain. I think the actual lyrics are turn and face the strain. I'll have to look it up. I didn't have time, but I take what I get. We'll take what we get here. So some questions, if you're a journaler, you can, of course, refer to them later, but maybe we're asking ourselves where we are struggling. Are there any frustrating ways of being that we're just kind of fed up within ourselves, right? We want to make some simple changes. What are some small fixes or tweaks that we can make? Because even if they are tiny and they're still suppressing or pushing down our soul energy, right? So if there's something that we're fixated on or that we noted that we need to look at in the mirror, right? That's suppressing our spirit. So how can we accept this help in order to make those tweaks and changes? What part of Our ego needs released. And when I say ego, that's fear. I associate that with the sacral chakra. What perceptions can we also tweak that are perhaps distorted? That if we just went, how can I look at this in a little bit different way so that I can see something from a different perspective or a different point of view? And then I have what blessing of change, because the second I say change, I know a lot of us go, oh, and even in our body might just kind of tense up, right? So let that be a little niggle to yourself of, am I just afraid of the word change? Can I have my perspective of that be, can I make it exciting? I know a lot of people don't like surprises. I'm one of those because that's kind of a form like, do not surprise me, right? I like to know what's happening. But I think that's because a lot of people expect the word change or surprise to be negative. So, what if we change the perspective around to this can be exciting? What exciting change is coming in for me? What blessing of change is for me? Okay, so just a suggestion there. And then what can our new super era represent? So, like, I'm in my era of blank. What is the first word that comes to your mind when I say that? I'm in my blank era. So just kind of whatever, don't simmer on it, just boom, whatever that comes up. Okay. And then we have an energy here. We did have Mercury go in retrograde at 4 degrees Virgo. That was at 12:56 my time, Eastern Standard Time. So that's a hangman energy and then a justice energy. And then because it's in Virgo, look at 4 degrees Virgo in your chart to see what life area. Maybe when I say change, you can just think of the word edit, right? So just like a little tweak, it's just an editing, right? And then for whatever, I just wrote editing time. And then this is a weird one, I know. But I wrote copy, copy, copy goes the Canon machine. And I think that's an old school commercial. I can't remember. I don't know where I've heard that from. But I wrote down, you are not a copy, nor are you a machine. Okay, we're human beings, we're not human doings. So I had dive into your uniqueness, which of course made me think of a rabbit. I shouldn't say, of course, but because my funny brain and my quirky sense of humor thought of the old joke of how do you catch a special rabbit? Unique up on him. Okay, so maybe a rabbit will be a sign of a way that, hey, that's leading me to something really lucky. Okay, so take that for what it is. And then uniqueness, rabbits, luck, right? We think of that luck when I do anyway when I think of a rabbit. So that made me think of Jupiter. We do have Jupiter in Gemini right now. That is all about learning. Okay, just wanting to take in all of this learning. And I wrote down what new learning will bring more luck your way. So maybe that can be a journaling prompt for you as well. We also have the moon going void, of course, at 11:15. And that means it's kind of like the Mercury retrograde energy. So keep that in mind of I know we are in Mercury retrograde, so I don't know if that's a double energy. Dawn might be able to help us up with that. But I just wrote down because when that void, of course, starts, there's always something happening in the sky. And it happens to be the moon squaring Uranus, the moon being in Leo. And then that's squaring Uranus and Taurus, which are fixed energies, right? And squaring can be butting heads. So fixed energies, butting heads. It is at 26 degrees, which brought me way back to the very beginning with the 1313, because you add those together, that's a 26. So it came back around home with that 26 degrees, which of course is an 8. So we'll see where we go today. So my first question on my channeled messages is always for what do we need to know about the Life Path 3 day? And if you do happen to be a Life Path 3, especially if your birth date adds up to a 21, remember that's unique. what I was just saying, unique up on him. Okay. So those for that are life path threes. Let's get special messages for unique life path threes of connection, and then just our general energies of today. What is unique that will be happening today regarding the path of connection? One more. This is the Cosmic Oracle deck, and this is my second one. I love it. The first one was really big and kind of hard to shuffle. This one is a little bit smaller and it shuffles like butter. I love it. Very smooth. It has the gilded edges. It's just gorgeous. Okay, there we go. We have number 4, believe. So I love cards like this because we get to see in them. Well, first of all, it's pretty unique because it's not a set image. I'm seeing feathers here, and I see a volcano. I see crystals. And then the image that is there is of wings. Someone's getting ready to fly. Someone's throat chakra and third eye is getting ready to just shout to the rooftops here. So take that for what that is. Somebody's getting ready. You're getting ready to spread your wings in some unique way. And then on the bottom of the deck here in the environmental energy, we have the 10 of compassion. And I also got the date 1985, which is how I added that up to get a 6. Okay. So there's those messages. And then the next 2 messages I get are for the energy of the day. What are advice for empresses here that may be trying to create something? What new learning? There we go. What new learning will bring more luck? Nope. What new learning will bring more luck our way? Okay, here is I Love Life. Yesterday I got, there was energy of redheads coming through very strong and my messages yesterday. And here's another one, but she's a widow wall. She's a younger energy here. So I love life. And look how she's watering that sunflower. That is loyalty to self. Sunflowers are a fire energy. And that to me is symbolizing loyalty. On the other side is it is my birthright to live fully and freely. I give to life exactly what I want life to give to me. So very temperance energy, also Queen of Cups energy, giving so that our own heart's cup is full, so that what we give out is freely and lovingly. And it's a healthy love, right? I am glad to be alive. I love life. That's beautiful. And we've got that under the card of believe. And these green energies are very heart focused here. And then let's ask for the world energy. What is advice for our spiritual viewers today about what is coming to a successful completion? Now, this compassion card, if you were with us on Friday night, or was that Saturday? I can't remember. It's when Marcia popped on with me, and 4 different decks, you guys had the word compassion. So it's watering our own heart first, right? Let's see what we have here. Everything I touch is a success. On the back of that, it says, I now establish a new awareness of success. I know I can be as successful as I make up my mind to be. I move, into the winning circle. Circle the 21 card of the world, successful completion of a cycle. Golden opportunities are everywhere for me. Prosperity of every kind is drawn to me. Now, with this green energy of the heart, see the color of the flower that she's watering? She's watering her solar plexus chakra, which is our happiness chakra. What will bring me joy in the next 5 minutes? Then do that. And then we start getting used to watering that energy, and then see how this golden card with another flower on here is then supporting that. Everything I touch is a success. And now not only do we have a sunflower of loyalty, but we have daisies as well. I'm not sure the spiritual meaning of daisies, but if y'all know, go ahead and type it in the comments, and look how these two colors are also pulling in these same energies. So when we tap into our joy, it opens our heart. We're pouring into our heart because we're joyful. And then this blue throat chakra energy of compassion for ourselves, when we're watering for ourselves, opens up this third eye and opens us up into that violet flame of intuition. Okay. And underneath that, guys, wow, there's your awakening. Isn't that beautiful? And the environmental energy, and those cards are very similar there as far as this megawatt intuition coming in, and this creative energy flowing into us first by watering ourselves. Therefore, we can give out, we can give back. Yep, that's the one. That's it. I hope that helps somebody.
That was beautiful, sweetheart. I know that helped everybody. Don, do you want to jump in? Do you have anybody want to put? I have info, but I want to give you guys a chance to jump in there too.
Go ahead. I'm good.
Go ahead. Okay. I'm going to do a reading for Kim based on your numbers. Let me go back to the chat real quick. Good morning. Hi, Kim.
Kim B got here super early this morning, so we want to make sure we get her
I
in.
appreciate that. That's so sweet. So, Kim, the way I do it, your overall number I'm going to give you is your life energy number and a life code. And then we're going to talk about your life path. And if I go fast enough, I might do a charm cast for you. Are you here? Hello? Is anybody out there? Okay, well, I'm going to go through it real quick. I hope you're listening. Kim, you have the life energy really of 2, but it is a 20. So again, very much in God's protection, if you will. Your life energy code is 2677. So I'm sure you're quite aware of how intuitive you are, how much of an empath you are, and you're quite the soldier, quite the chariot. I believe that last year was a lot of growth for you, but this year is about empowerment. Good morning, everyone. I believe that it's a time for you to really redirect your energy, promote change, really confront some old patterns and behaviors that really aren't effective for you anymore. It's a time with the rest of the year to take back your power in a graceful, loving sense, and to work on grounding, security, and trust issues. And I'm going to leave it there because I believe Kim is gone. Okay? Okay. I think she's gone.
You're correct. So who else did you have?
I want to remind you guys that we do put this up on the Spiritual View for you guys to go back and see your readings again if you miss anything or you want to hear them again. And those of us who have channels, we stream this to our channels too. So, Kim, if you're listening, if you come back, you can see some of this on the replay. But since you're not here, I'm not going to do the charm casting for you. So there, meh. And maybe I think Dawn's going to add for you, Kim. We're
Right.
sorry. Maybe you had an internet interruption or something. So let me let Dawn go, and then we're going to read for Oh My Giddy Aunt and Natasha. Correct, Jen? Yes. Okay.
Natisha.
Oh, sorry, Natisha.
Okay, so for Kim, looking at your chart, what I find very interesting is the fact that you've got, you're in a ninth house year, which means the sun is very important because that's Leo for you in whole sign houses. And so anything that the sun is doing this year, including any of the lunations. So um, this path, it's still not too late actually. With that new moon energy, you can still set intentions. I would, because with the sun being your time lord of the year, those are going to be very, very powerful for you. And I would say use those intentions, because when you're using, the sun is that ruler and Leo is your perfected house for the year, that ninth house, which is about travel, higher education, spiritualness, legal matters, all of those things. So if you have any of those areas of life that you might want to address with that intention setting for the best possible outcome. Also, that would be in a trine energy, anything going through Leo. So as anything is passing through Leo right now, it's affecting you. So whatever planets that we have, let me see if I can click that. I'm using my phone, so it's like, okay, come on.
Dawn, would you say too, like it's a really good time for her to really reevaluate and kind of heal some relationships and
Yes. And I
Okay.
was, yeah. And coming up to that is she has, because I then looked at her Aries, she has an Aries North node and an Aries Chiron. And the node is at 14 degrees, but the Chiron is at 3. So it would have just been hit. And next spring, we're going to have an Aries new moon eclipse. And that will be at, I believe, 10 degrees. So that's going to be near her so she's having this is a nodal return that she's having in her 5th house. And I think she needs to set boundaries. And she also has the healing energy of Chiron there that I think she could take advantage of, because the node is going to be backing over that. And that is at 3 degrees in Aries in her 5th house. So anything that the nodes are doing are extremely important in her relationships, because that being the 5th house, that means Libra in the 11th house is the house of friendships. So there has been so many changes, I am sure, for her, having people leave her life that were friends in previously. But I think what you're finding is you need to set boundaries. You've got Saturn in Aries. This is about setting boundaries. Use Saturn to set boundaries in your chart, especially in that 5th house, because with a nodal return, you're being very activated this year. Okay. So I would say that's kind of what I want to say about this, but I would say also pay attention to the Mercury retrograde, because the Mercury retrograde is starting on your Jupiter, or right near your Jupiter, which is at 3 degrees of Virgo, and it will be going back into the house, into Leo, which is your 9th house. So if you're rethinking about going back to school or something like that, that will come up, and working out the details. And I think you'll find that by the time things turn around towards the end, basically the entire month of August is going to be Mercury being in retrograde and then coming out of it. So Virgo and Leo are very activated by that. So I hope that makes sense. But those are the energies that I see. But boundaries, setting boundaries in your personal life, and for you to enjoy your life. I think this is a big year, but anything that the sun is doing in your chart, including she's also a Cancer sun. Yay. So that really, especially anything with the moon, any lunations at all, because with the sun being ruled by the moon, which is Cancer, again, doubly so that you'll have anything to do with eclipses, any new moons, full moons, take advantage of all those for intention setting and releasing. especially the
Yeah.
one coming up in Aquarius. Okay.
I agree too that she really has to strike those balances and really strengthen her personal power, but as much loss as Kim you may have been through, there's some new stuff coming. Just stay really grounded and work on any emotional imbalance you might have. So, okay. Jen, let's see. We are going on to Oh My Giddy Aunt, which is Ed, I believe. Are you here? Make sure I'm in the right place. I am. I'm in the chat. Well, I'm going to go. I'm going to talk to you, Oh My Giddy Aunt. I hope you're here.
They've
All
been
right.
a really big supporter for us. So yeah, I'm
Oh,
glad
hi.
we're doing it now.
Hi, Ed.
He or she.
Okay, Jen. He runs in the energy. I hope, Ed, it's you're confusing me with your name. Just saying, but it doesn't matter. Your energy's super cool. Oh wow. Okay, let's go. All right. Don will add in, and I know the girls will pull cards. So let's go. I want to tell you, my friend, you run in the energy of the 7, the Chariot, this divine, wonderful number. That talks about that's not your life path. But what I want to point out is your code is 7259. This is such angelic numbers for you. Let me read what Lindsay Knight, who created these cards, put about 259. Jen has heard it many times. You are a very old soul, intuitive, empathic. Your numbers reflect that of the Chariot, of the Soldier, of the High Priestess, of the Hierophant, of the Church. In a sense, you're morally strong, and of the Hermit and the Prophet. But together, 259 is about soul contracts, past life contracts, angelic protection, universal timing, proof of spiritual alignment, blessed. You are quite the intuitive, quite the intuitive. And some of what I was reading for Kim is true about you as well. You are in a life path 6. It is going to be about healing as well. Some of the abandonment issues that may come from a past life type of energy or your childhood. You may have actually last year gone through some big changes that brought on more of your soul purpose. But with that, I think there's still a lot of recovery going on, and you may feel overwhelmed, and may be revisiting some of those abandonment issues and fear of change and fear of loss and all of that. But I want you to know that this is turning, you're strengthening, you're healing, you're growing, and I want you to keep an eye out for really good new opportunities coming in for you. And really cool. So I can do a charm cast for you really quick if you'd like to see that. I don't want to take too long. Let me move this camera and everybody don't. Sure. All right. Can you see my little messy table? Okay, cool. Here we go. Are you ready? You're going to be looking at my boobs. All right. I'm going to mute for a second while I rattle these. It's a little. Ed, is there a certain question that I should have in mind as I think about this cast for you?
You're muted, Elizabeth.
Okay. Oh, wow. Should you keep walking away? Well, I mean, I think there is definitely you're feeling a bit powerless and overwhelmed and fear of loss, but this is when you strengthen your power. Those are decisions you have to make, but I feel like you're really going to make some wise decisions, some very intuitive decisions. And you do have a double 7 in you. That is the soldier, man, soldiering on. And I can tell you that the charm right here says yes. And it is topped by this type of raven skull mask, which is your intuition with the sun. Now, the sun is flipped over. So I want you to think about what is yes for you, and to flip that sun over, because that is about you and paying a little bit more attention to yourself, because your little body is way over here. Like, I don't think you're really paying attention to nurturing yourself. And the next thing I'm going to look to is this ring of love that is right here next to the sword. Now, this is the sword of protection from my archangel, Michael. But sometimes it can represent a bit of harm or, loss in love. But I want you to know you're protected. Is everything still okay? All right, you guys want to chat for me? I'll go as quick as I can. In your world ring, which is really important, are these, and I have to show you how they came stacked together. The time is now for you to transform. This is my timepiece. This is like your whole world. And the key to it, the key to the puzzle, if you can see that, is for you to transform. In your heart is just the Bible, that you want to stay morally grounded, protect your heart, and have the grace and love to offer that love to people around you. I think that's the root of it. And I want you to know there's this little tooth and stingray, that this is the root of it. And I want you to know that you are protected through this. The mask is right here by your heart. So I believe there's some hidden emotions, maybe some guilt you're feeling. And also, though, if you have really spoken your truth, then you're being honest and open. And that is fundamental here. Within the hook and the tower. Okay. The hook is surrounded by the sundial, the scarcity charm, this message in a broken heart. So I believe that as spiritually guided as you are, you do have a hook in that spiritualness. And I love that. And I think, though, that there came in a message that of loss, of what I would say scarcity. Now, that could be money, it could be love, but I do believe there, you lost some faith in your intuition. But a little balance will bring that back. And I want to show you this. This is my charm of intuition. This wine bottle is about celebrating, and this is the charm of balance. So I feel like, and so the intuition crown was upside down. I feel if you strike balance with this and trust yourself, that you will feel your intuition come back, and that's a celebration for you. I do believe here that there has been a significant tower moment that did maybe affect your abundance. And I need you to just listen more as the turtle was upside down. I need you to pay attention to things that nurture yourself more. That is key here. I feel like this set you off your path. This is the compass. And so it's upside down, where to nurture yourself is to trust your intuition, to flow through these tower moments, to not over worry. Just take your time, come back into yourself and trust that intuition. Because again, your little body's way over there. Now, I'm almost done, ladies. The key to this, again, I have Archangel Uriel here. The key is to trust your intuition and the spirit, and not to spin, but also this symbol is of like the 6 and 9. Again, it's about balancing and trusting and healing, bringing some fun and passion and laughter back into your life, because emotionally, I want to show you this. Emotionally, you have a big hook in, okay, this is the moon charm of your emotions. And within this, the shell, again, tells me you're not listening. But your aim, if you have children or involves children, is truly to protect them. And I believe you want to protect them either from addictions, medical issues, anything like that. And that really has a big hook in you. You are being cheered on to cut some ties, which will definitely free yourself. And to never give up is an important message there as I say that. And then to just further back this up is my shell that again says yes. So, and to answer your question, and I also didn't realize that the Cancer symbol is here, the 6 and 9 that I mentioned with the spin charm. So I hope that makes some sense. Their departure made me learn tarot. Oh, yes. And pendulum work. I love that. I do that too. Okay. You're so welcome. Yes, yes, yes.
All
Okay,
right.
then.
Yep. Dawn, are you going to go?
Yeah, I have something
Okay.
some things for Ed that really I find fascinating. So I will kind of go with what she said, because there's so much. Anytime you look at somebody's chart, there's always so much. So I try and pick out the things that are going to make the most help for you. You are in a 5th house perfection year. So Taurus is your 5th house, meaning Venus is going to be your time lord of the year. So Venus also rules Libra, where that is your 10th house, your house of career. And you have Pluto there. And one of the things that I find fascinating is that with Pluto being there, the current Pluto is at 0. It's going to go back into Capricorn, your 1st house. But Aquarius, where Pluto is going to be going back into, is your 2nd house of value. It's not just about resources, such as money. It's also about your self-worth. You're going to be building back your self-worth through this 20-year cycle, because it's going to go right over your 3-degree moon in Aquarius. And you also have your North Node in Aquarius at 7 degrees. So the next 20 years, I think, are going to be very amazing for you. Yes, you do have a very packed 12th house. And especially interesting is the fact that you have 22-degree Mercury and a 22-degree Venus. Hello. And that to me is just, your natural buoyancy has helped get you through this. And with the sun being there right next to Neptune, I really feel that you weren't seen, that a lot of your life you weren't seen, because you're in all of that energy. And like the sun and then Mercury and Venus, those personal planets are all hidden in that 12th house. You just weren't seen. So I think, and Jupiter is there as well, but Jupiter rules Sagittarius. So thank goodness you have Jupiter there, because really, I feel like this energy is going to make you shine. I'm glad that you're looking at Cheroklo. I love Cheroklo. Cheroklo is actually in a trine to your MC. So that healing energy of Cheroklo, which is at 23 degrees of Pisces in your natal chart, is awesome with your MC. The other thing I want you to note is on September 17th, there is a lunar eclipse at 25 degrees of Pisces. And that'll be right near your Cheroklo. And your lot of fortune is at 17 degrees. So I'm going to say this is a great opportunity for you for healing and to bring that healing out. It feels like, because that's the third house, which is your local community, siblings, things that are in your daily life. I feel that is a very interesting area and you might want to play with that a little bit to find out what area in your chart that is addressing. But I really feel, as Elizabeth pointed out, that you're going to be coming into a great time of healing. Again, interestingly, you have in Taurus, you also have Urania and Pallas Athena at 24 and 25 degrees. So I think with those two things right next to each other, that you have, one is about astrology, the other is about strategy. And to me, it feels like if you're interested in those kind of things, pursue all of your interests. That's the fifth house. Go and find out what you really love. I love that you're doing pendulum work. I like that you're seeing the things in your chart already. I know that you have a grand air trine. So that is beautiful energy. I'm an Aquarius moon myself. So I know that you can handle your emotions in such a way, but remember that we don't walk through this world alone, because sometimes being an Aquarius, it's like we believe in the collective, but I think I said this to one of the people the other day, we're a crowd of hermits. So that's kind of the energy I always get with being an Aquarius thing. We love the collective, but we're kind of like, but I like my privacy, right? You know, that energy. So I really think you have some amazing healing that's going to be coming towards you. I think that you just were not seen by your family. I think that you've got some great energy that's going to be coming out more and more in your chart. It sounds like you are knowing your chart very well. But yes, I think that, grand air trine, but in fire. Yeah, that's right. Yes. So, and with your age being 52, you would already come through your Chiron return or very near it. So I believe that you've gained some of your own independence, because that's what you get when you have a Chiron return. It's like, okay, enough of me not being seen, right? That's probably one of the things that sparked. It's like you were tired of not being seen or heard or any of those things, because Mercury is in the 12th house. Venus is in the 12th house. Yes. So hopefully that's going to give you some great opportunity for healing. I think the next phase of your life is going to be amazing. You're going to be then going into a Gemini year. So a lot more communication in the 6th house. Your career thing should also be picking up as well. A complete change of career, I feel, because that would be the two Plutos trining each other. So yeah, I'll leave it at that, but that's what I was able to pick up in short notice. So
That's great, Dawn. And I'm going to close out, Ed, I pulled a couple of oracle cards, and this one comes from the Angels and Ancestors deck. So I asked the question, what advice do you have for him moving forward? I pulled the card called Sky Father, and it's a beautiful message called Trust in the Unknown. Trust that the path is unfolding exactly as it needs to. You have a personal relationship with the Great Father. Know he is lovingly leading you forward. The Sky Father features in many religions and mythologies as Father God. He's the counterpart to the Earth Mother in many traditions. So this card represents the universal powers that are masculine in essence, the energies that people have called out to and looked up to in times of need and gratitude. Sky Father personifies your relationship with the masculine energies of the divine and possibly a very powerful male or father figure too. You are a co-creator of your life, and every thought, feeling, intention, and emotion you have is creating the road ahead. With that being said, you don't need to know every single detail of what's going to unfold. When this card appears, you're being guided to step back and get out of your own way, because there's a greater power not only around you, but within you. And Sky Father is creating the best experience imaginable for you. Accepting this will allow miraculous energy to come into your life. So seeing things from a higher perspective is going to be critical. So what a great message for you that kind of encapsulates what you've heard from both Elizabeth and Dawn. And just wanted to acknowledge the pendulum. I was using mine this morning and I really love it. And many of us on this call probably have had to walk away from family members. I'm included in that. And it's not always an easy thing to do, but when you feel led to set those boundaries and to move on, you have to. And so my heart goes out to you for the journey that you're on. And again, let Sky Father direct your path. So just wanted to end with that, and good luck to you as you continue to transition. Have great courage.
Can I piggyback on Cerie's as well, and Elizabeth's and everybody's as well with you? That card was so beautiful, Cerie, that Sky Father. The first thing I saw was the feathers. So that brought me back to the beginning of our reading for our viewers, which was the feathers was the first thing that I saw, and it's the Four of the Emperor, right? So that father energy. And then I don't know why I wrote down 1985, but 19 is a 10 of change, 85 is a 13. That's a wheel and transformation. That is equaling that 13 equals a 4, the emperor. So that Sky Father is leading the transformation, like taking charge and trusting that leadership energy. And then in the chat, healed heart space, I just saw 7373 there in your birthday, which is a 1010, that double change energy that we were picking up today. In addition, you add your 19 in there for your year, that's a 30. So it is a 3-day for you. So all the messages that everybody is giving today, take those in for yourself as well. And as I was reading that, I split my deck and it was 1010 because I got 37 and 46. And the 37 was that third archangel Shamuel. See how he's holding his solar plexus chakra there, which we talked about also at the beginning, that helps open up your heart space when you're tapping into your own joy. And then the second 10 was the 46 of the thinking man. And he's holding those crystals that we also saw in that first card. And then I split the 37 deck and got a 1. So that further, the 1 plus 0 is a 1. And we're starting back at 1 here with that sun energy. I believe one of you guys talked about that as well. Filling your own cup. There's lotuses of transformation here. And I love that even though it's sun energy, she's standing in the Ace of Cups here. So standing in her own self-love then brings back the energy of the love that is attracted to you. Lastly, there was a 33, I think at 10:33, Peter. So I just wanted to direct you because 33s came out on the Saturday reading. There's still time to change the road you're on. It was a big hermit day energy. Like Dawn was talking about Aquarius. I'm not sure if you resonate with that, but I know there will be some information in there for you if we didn't have time to get to that today. But I did want to split the deck for you as well. Yeah. So on the bottom of the deck, there's that Ace of Cups. And then so what's coming in is the self-love. And there's the Queen of Cups, Cancerian energy. And see how by filling your own cup, that makes this other cup going out on the right side of your body able to be received. So there is someone of equal energy there waiting for their cup to be filled as well. So I hope that message, that little mini message, I'm going to be doing a lot of splits today. So what's coming in and what is what you're putting out to receive. Just a little mini one.
That was awesome. Jen, you want to guide us now? Do we go to Kelvin?
Yeah, we're going to be closing it out with Kelvin since we asked them to come back because we had information from them from the last time. So I think you had numbers for them, right? And then they have added their birth chart information in the chat if Dawn wants to be looking at that.
Okay. And then I did also Natasha. So if you come back, love, please, we will do you again. Okay. So I'll hop in with Kelvin and then turn it over to everybody else. Hello, Kelvin. What a beautiful soul you are. Your life energy number is the master number 11, the gifted, the intuitive, the old soul, the twin flame within you. Let's not forget that. Your entire energy code, I'm going to break that down to a 2, which is still very cool. Going to show you. 2298. So you really have this old soul energy, this intuition off the charts, very empathic. I believe when you walk in the room, everyone notices you, but you also are quite the scanner and you read the room and you absorb a lot. So I want you to be careful of that. You're in a life path 7. So this is a time where you do need to, let me go back to my notes real quick. You need to restore some emotional balance. You may have anger issues, resentment issues, abandonment issues, and really re-examining a lot of things in your life right now, Calvin. And I want you to know that you are this beautiful, deep soul. Now, when things get a little out of hand, this is representing the number 11. You can spin. So I want you to take note of that. I don't know if you feel persecuted in your life, in childhood or in a past life, but it reflects in your energy with this 11, as well as does the twin flame. And I just want you to understand that possibly, again, childhood issues, that this is a safe place to talk about, or you may have lost a child, which many of us understand. And this speaks to a lot of loss and death and rebirth, though, which is the year that you're in. So being more balanced, being more heart-centered, because you may have a lot of anger and resentment and control issues that you're trying to balance out. Because of the 9 within you, you are such a creative soul. And I think this is a good way to start this spiritual shedding and enlighten your what do I want to say? Lighten your energy and your soul. Because of the 2 in you, I think sometimes you can be quite the chameleon, very flexible and able to go with the flow, but you might try to adapt too much for other people. And it's important to work on yourself, your creativity. Intimacy issues might play a part in what's going on in your life this year. Oh, I get that. I get that. And I want you to know the next couple years, you're going to get over some of this feeling of loss. And I want you to keep an eye out for new things coming in, because you're going to go through some years of really healing and restoring balance and completing this cycle. So, stay positive. With your 9, I believe that you're super loyal, loving, so intelligent. But if you look closely, this elephant has been abused. There's chains. It's abuse of power in your life. And I don't know if you had to care for your mom a lot, but there's a lot of medical issues around you. I see that. And things that may have haunted you from a past life where about death, about things I don't really want to say on YouTube. Anyway, it has to do with death and this. And it could have been in a past life or something in your thoughts, okay? And I need you to release all of that. This is like a primal scream. Let these emotions out, resolve some communication issues. And last, I don't know if you're going on a trip or you're scared to fly, but that's kind of deep within you. You may love to travel. Dawn will tell us because she'll look at your chart. I do believe you're quite a hard worker, very hands-on too, very creative, very intelligent. But I do believe there's something from a past, your childhood, something you feel guilt and shame about, something you saw, witnessed, or carry over, even from when you were in your mother's womb, that happened when you were very young, or happened to your mother, and so forth. But you've carried this burden, and it's something you really need to let go of. You have a tendency to store these records and information, which is beautiful, but I just believe you need to process them, let and communicate your thoughts and feelings to people that you do trust and understand. I hope that helps, Calvin. I'm going to turn it over to Dawn and let everybody else jump in too.
Hi. So looking at your count, look, I wanted to say that right now, you're going to be coming up on your birthday. So your house is going to be changing from a 12th house, spiritual house, to a house of self. You are a Virgo rising. So Mercury is going to be ruling your chart. I think what you've been given today are a lot of things to think about. And because you do have Mercury turned retrograde officially late last night or today, depending upon where you're at. And that is over your Venus. Mercury is over your Venus. I think that at this time, you're going to be more willing to talk about those things because I do see that you have Mercury was right in your 12th house with Mars, which is your most malefic planet. And you just were not allowed to speak up. And I think that the fact that you're coming into this year and that's the first year, this is about self. This is about you discovering who you are. Venus is in that area of your chart. It's at 3 degrees. And I want to say, take this opportunity to stop being so self-critical of yourself. I think that Virgos are very self-critical. And if you've had the other added problem of having not being allowed to speak, like what you were saying wasn't any good whatsoever, which is nonsense. I really think that this is the opportunity for you to bring that out. Your ascendant is conjunct Pallas Athena, who is that warrior goddess that has strategy. And also this will be, because Mercury rules Virgo, it also rules Gemini, which is your 10th house of career. And one of the things I noticed is that you have Hecate in that house near your MC. So I really, really like the energy that this could bring in for you. Jupiter is also, actually, you had your Jupiter return at 7 degrees earlier. So I think this is going to be an opportunity for you because Jupiter is going to be going back retrograde, for you to be doing some healing and also doing more things out in your career and being seen. I think that will give you the opportunity. Jupiter in your chart is going to be fortunate for you, especially because you're going to be in a first house year after you have your birthday. And I wanted to emphasize that more because I feel like you're leaving that 12th house energy and you're reworking it. And the retrogrades will be huge for you for the next year. So this retrograde that we're having going on now it's going to take you back into Leo a little bit, back to 21 degrees. So it won't be going back over your sun, but you're going to have a chance to work through that energy and then come out of it and then move forward and have it go over your ascendant and Pallas Athena. And while Mercury is doing that, it will then be speaking to the things that are going on in a square to your chart. So up in Jupiter. So I hope, I know I'm rambling, but I really feel that I look at your 4th house and my heart is hurting because in your 4th house, which is Sagittarius, you have the moon and you have Pluto and you have Chiron.
Yeah.
Pluto and Chiron are 1 degree apart. And Venus, the moon a lot of time represents the mom. So that was a truly, truly deep wound.
Yeah, I agree.
There's no getting around that. That was a huge, deep wound. And she got you. She got you, actually, because your sun is trying to that. Your sun is trying to that moon energy. So I think that is what you're really missing, is because she got you. She understood you, even though you weren't allowed to speak out. She got it. And I want you to know that as far as energy, because I really feel that coming out of that 12th house energy and going into your 1st house, she would want you to find your true self and come out more with who you are, because that's Gemini in your chart in the 10th house this year. So
I think he needs to talk.
Take this as a healing time for yourself. I really believe. So
Yeah.
That was beautiful. I agree. And we've got some more cards for you. So keep going, girls.
Yeah, I just, Kelvin, I just pulled one. No surprise on this one. It's called Time for a Nap. With everything that you've had going on, I think rest, rejuvenation, and renewal is in the cards for you. Temporary non-action, allowing dreams to arise. This is time to step away and rest. Let the cares of your world go. Go into a state of non-action and allow yourself to be free of the shackles of your goals, list, and desires. Nothing is as important as rest, detachment, and neutrality. The overly busy mind can block you from inner wisdom if you don't step back and take a nap or a seat and rest. Be willing to let your dreams surface and ideas to flow through you, absent any force or conscious direction, as you observe without engagement right now. So I think there's a message that with everything that you've been going through, give yourself permission to rest, to recharge your batteries. And this will help you over the days ahead as you kind of chart your path forward. So give yourself permission and don't be afraid to rest, because I think many of us don't feel like we're accomplishing things unless we're out doing things. And rest is part of self-care, which is the highest form of love that you can demonstrate. So self-love, self-care, and rest. Give yourself permission to do that.
Okay, I'm going to come in next. I pulled a card for you from the Past Life Oracle, because we've really been diving into your deep past and the traumas. I'm getting nervous, y'all. Sorry. And I do think that you are a very misunderstood person, because the card that I pulled for you is the Persecution and Inquisition. And with this card, you drew this card as validation of your suspicions. You were accused of witchcraft, being a heathen, or other crimes in the past. You suffered greatly as a result of ensuing persecution, and the fear has carried forward into this life. In the past, your character and behaviors were examined publicly, and you were blamed for crop failures and the deaths that had nothing to do with you. Your neighbors and the government said that you were casting spells, which was a capital offense. In reality, you were a good-hearted person, as you remain to this day. who had the ability to see into the future and to use energy for healing purposes. That lifetime has made you very sensitive to gossip and rumors. If someone falsely accuses you now, you become fearful and upset because that's the behavior that led to your painful death in a previous life. You may also be afraid to openly admit that you're still a talented healer and psychic. Unconsciously, you're keeping your spiritual skills a secret to avoid recreating the pain of the past. To heal from this, know that in this current lifetime, spiritual teachers and healers are revered instead of feared. You agreed to incarnate at this time because of your hard-won knowledge from previous lifetimes is needed in this world. And the fact that you're back on Earth shows that no one can harm you permanently or prevent you from pursuing your spiritual path. So I feel like that was very aligned with everything that everybody else has already said. I don't know if anybody else had anything to go with it.
Yeah, the diving into the uniqueness, right? How do you catch a special rabbit? Like, right? You like, even if you're kind of just sneaking into this new life or just like letting it out little bits at a time, you're heading into your new super era, right? So, what is your blank era? Where are you stepping into? And then, as Sari just said, it's a time of rest. And I had written, you're not a machine. Okay. We're not machines, guys. We need that. We're not copies of anybody else. We don't need to be anybody else. It's okay to be unique. And as a matter of fact, moving into, especially in the next 20 years of Aquarius, Pluto and Aquarius, like it's going to be required. Businesses are going to change. If they're not tapping into the collective, into the good of the whole, they're not going to survive. So the people that are tapping into unique energy, the people that are tapping into bringing healing and help to the good of the whole, especially if they can change their business model to make that happen on a bigger, more expansive level, that's what's gonna thrive. So I think that's amazing advice for you today from everyone, because run with that, right? You've got, like, that's where your luck is going to be. That's where the money, honey, is going to be. And I didn't talk about it, but I also drew, these hands have just been coming up constantly. And then I have a little meditator person here. And then they're holding this golden globe, which is the uniqueness, which is that editing. Okay. That small little editing. This is a blessing. Okay. If it's whatever is changing, if that word scares you, think of it as an edit. Okay. Successful completion of cycles. You're getting ready to step into your leadership in a whole new era. So embrace it. I mean, just what beautiful readings, you guys. I mean, you're all amazing, of course. So,
So are you. That was awesome. I've got goosebumps galore. Oh my God. I want to pop in real quick because Daniel said he's seeing repeating ones. And something you just said, Angie, I'm going to read two because I've got the angel book you gave me. So we're going right to that because I think it fits. But I'm also going to show this card real quick and we're going to wrap up. We got stuff to do. And you guys, please, well, okay. Daniel, when you see the ones, screenshot, pause and reset your thinking. Think of the universe as taking a screenshot of your frame of mind right now. Everything that is going on, all your thoughts, feelings, goals, and dreams is going to be replicated. Get on a high vibe quickly so you can manifest your best life moving forward. I keep getting so many Lionsgate references. Even through this, I just had to keep my mouth shut. Okay, repeat the mantra. I am in alignment with my authentic self. Now, from Lindsay, 1111, angelic protection, spiritual healing, faith, spiritual shift. Let's go, Lionsgate. Transformation, taking back your power, spiritual alignment. Woo! So, thank you for asking about that. I think that's a really cool way to wrap this up for today and encourage you guys to come check out the channel, look for the community tabs for all the announcements, but you will see so much amazing info coming out. These ladies are working overtime to create learning experiences, practical tips, inspiration, meditations, channeled messages, surprises I don't even know about. So thank you all for being here. I'm going to let everybody say goodbye, and we'll see you Thursday. Happy birthday. By the way, I forgot to say that. And we will be back Friday at 5 for more of this. Love you guys. Peace.